right, good evening. It's always good to be back. It's a very special day. I'm here at the open studio. My tap is in the control room, and we're talking our heads off. I have a very special guest. This is a young man who is a very, very talented young guy. He works here in MNN. Many times he had to bear with my mood swings. When I come here and things are not done properly, I can raise my voice a little bit, I can get a little wild, I can get a little crazy, but guess what? Malik Parker, who is my guest tonight, he says, Sissy, you just gotta take your time and you just gotta breathe. Don't, just chill. You know what I'm saying? Just relax. Malik Parker he loves the game of soccer, football. That's how we call it. And as we know, today was the first game.
First day of the World Cup.
First day of the World Cup. And that's why we want to talk about soccer, because I love the game, like I love boxing, and I know that Malik is a sportsman. He knows everything about soccer, so thank you for making the time.
You're welcome.
Who can be a better guest than you?
Cisco from Mad Soccer.
Cisco. Not even you, man. Yeah. I know that you have a passion for the game. Can you tell us why?
You know, I started watching soccer in 2010 at the 2010 World Cup. So this is, I guess, the World Cups are always something that I kind of appreciate, because this is what made me start watching the game. So this is my third one.
God, you're young, Malik.
I mean, it's not my third one.
I thought you were going to say
it's not my third one.
1986.
That's the year I was born.
Yeah, can you imagine?
But yeah.
Thank you for reminding me. I'm older than you.
Yeah, so this is not my third one like on Earth, but this is the third one I was like paying attention to.
Okay.
And yeah, the only reason I watched it in 2010 was because I just so happened to be in Portugal that summer for a film class, and you know, that's what everybody was talking about, and you know, I just wanted to be a part of the conversation, so I started watching it, and you know, the U.S. qualified for that one, fortunately, so I was able to follow them, and I liked it. And you know, as soon as that tournament was over in 2010, I started watching our domestic league, MLS. You know, at that point, I was rooting for the Red Bulls because that was the team, and the people I stayed with in Portugal, they were Manchester City fans. So the Red Bulls were my U.S. team, and then Manchester City was my European team. Then a couple years later, Manchester City started a team in New York City with the Yankees, and that became my team. And you know, now with that team, I became, you know, I had like a team really that I became like a diehard fan of, because with the Red Bulls, it was just kind of like, I'm just getting into the sport or whatever. But when the new team came along, I kind of like knew the rules more, and I was like able to see that team start from scratch, and you know, so yeah, that became like a big team for me. That's really like behind the New York Knicks, like NYCFC is like, that's my team.
Beautiful, beautiful. Soccer is a beautiful sport, man.
It is. It's a great sport. It's
What do you think could drive people crazy? Because once the World Cup takes place, everything changes.
You know, with soccer, I would say it's the only sport that I've ever watched where you can dominate the game and you can still lose it, you know? And that's, you know, there's like beauty in that. And, you know, you can steal a win, or, you know, just some days it's just the ball's just not going to go in the goal and you're going to lose. But it's an interesting game, and you'll never know.
But it's a sport of the masses. Would you agree with me?
It's the most popular sport in the world by far.
And people, they go crazy in the stadiums. I went to the stadium last year, and a couple of years ago for the what do you call it, the American Cup?
The Copa America?
Yes. And it was fun, man. Argentina against Chile. That was a crazy crowd, I got to tell you. Argentinians, as you know, are very passionate people.
Yeah.
A little crazy. But that's besides the point. So we covered that, your love for the game, correct?
Yep.
Now, what about, give me your thought before we talk about this World Cup taking place in Russia. The Russian president already said that it's going to be the best World Cup ever. Obviously, he's out of his mind, as we know. Only Donald Trump doesn't know it. But all of us who live in this world, we know that he's out of his mind.
Yep.
He said that this is going to be the best World Cup ever. So let's see if that's true. The last World Cup, give me your thoughts.
The last World Cup was cool. I thought, you know, being a U.S. fan, they exceeded my expectations getting out of that group. And I thought it was a very entertaining World Cup.
What about Costa Rica? What do you have to say about my country, Malik? Don't hold any grudges. Come on, I see the steam coming out of your ears.
No, I'm not mad at Costa Rica at all. Like, especially in that World Cup or in the what happened in qualifying for this World Cup.
Right.
No, I'm not mad. Actually, I was kind of disappointed in some USA fans after U.S. lost in World Cup qualifying for this one in Russia. Costa Rica beat the U.S. at Red Bull Arena in New Jersey, and there was a little bit of a little animosity. And you know, that's cool. You know, you don't want your team to lose, but it was kind of like some xenophobic, you know, kind of comments that were coming out of our fans that I was kind of disappointed with. But you know, like Costa Rica, I'm rooting for them in the World Cup this cycle, and they did great last cycle. They did a lot better. I actually learned a lot because they played was known as 3 in the back. They were playing 3 with only 3 defenders. You know, that was something I looked at a lot. I thought was interesting, and I didn't, you know, that was a team that a lot of people weren't expecting to do so well.
I know.
And for them to play, you know, with 1 less defender than normal, and I thought that was an interesting tactic, and it worked out for them. Yeah, and it's something that NYC does sometimes too. We'll go to 3 in the back.
Right. It's interesting. Everybody has a different. Every single team, they had different strategies in the field. But Costa Rica, they did pretty good.
Yeah.
The Colombian Pinto, technical director, is a smart guy. He's, you know, he's not working for Costa Rica anymore. He got a lot of animosity as well. You know, people are gonna love you, people are gonna hate you. Right?
I think 1 cycle is good for a coach.
Right.
1 cycle for a World Cup, and then you probably got to get somebody else in there, get a new voice.
Yes, of course. But they did a great job. Even Maradona, Diego Armando Maradona. I remember very clearly because I have all the channels, and maybe I'm the only human being on this earth who has Time Warner Cable, a Spectrum. I do the Apple TV, but I have all the channels. And in those channels, Malik, there's a whole diversity of Spanish channels. Fox in Espanol, Discovery, History in Espanol, but all these programs about soccer. And they're quite amazing, I gotta tell you. They give you a whole breakdown of the World Cup. Like today, I was listening to them, and they're saying that the expectations are high, that the Russian president is expecting, he already announced that this World Cup is gonna be the best World Cup ever. Obviously, everybody has, you know, their doubts, and some people,
that's really going to be something that will be determined by the players.
Right. But the games.
Yeah.
But the fans. Now, Germany, Argentina, Brazil, Spain, France are the favorite teams. What do you think is going to happen? Because everybody has a different opinion.
You know, I don't think. I mean, it'll probably be one of those teams that win. But you know, I don't know. I can't give you a definite. You know, I don't think Germany is going to repeat.
I hope not.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to say that out loud. I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
Yeah, I don't think.
Burn me to the stake.
I don't think they're going to repeat. You know, I like France's team a lot. They have a lot of young, talented players that I think are cool. You know, England's team, the Premier League, that's the league outside of MLS that I watch the most. So that's the team that will have the most players on there that I know. You know, I know that they get a lot. There's a lot of pressure on that team.
Talk about pressure. Yeah. Messi has a lot of pressure.
Yeah, pressure.
Because you know that he messed it up quite a few times in the past.
You know, it's hard. It's hard for him.
What do you think?
It's going to be hard. You know, when he plays on a team like Barcelona, they're going to be able to surround him with better players than your national team is. Even though Argentina is like super talented, but you know, it's not what he's used to on his club team. And I think, you know, the fact that he's arguably the best player in the world, you know, arguably the best player ever, you know, there's that much more expectation like put on his shoulders, and you know, that's hard, you know. That's a hard thing.
I remember when I went to the World Cup, not the World Cup, the American, La Copa America. Yeah. And he missed those shots.
Yeah,
man. Come
and
on,
you could tell that it weighed, it weighed heavy on his heart. Yeah, you could tell that it's not like a lack of effort from him.
No, but people go crazy. You know, he makes a lot of money, Malik. So pressure is gonna be on when you get all the sponsors and you get all the fans and you got everybody, the entire world rooting for you. Not to mention that he's not the nicest guy, but that's besides the point. He's a great player, but certainly, rumor has it that he's not the nicest guy to be around with, But hey, I guess the talent gives you some sort of entitlement that I just don't understand where the attitude comes from. I don't care how talented he is. I think you have to be easygoing, right?
Yeah. But as an athlete, it would be cool if he won a major trophy for Argentina. Yeah. Just so he can have that.
Yes.
Put those naysayers' words to bed,
Now, what do you know about Neymar?
He's good. I think he made a mistake. I think he made a mistake leaving Barcelona, going to PSG. Coming from an MLS fan, it's me saying, like, it's not the strongest league in the world. Right. It's not, it's better than my league, of course, but, like, it's a very top-heavy league. So is Spain's league, but the bottom of the French league is not really, professional quality. I mean, you'll have people that have like other jobs and stuff like that at the bottom of that league. So I think that was a mistake going there. There are a lot of Brazilians on that team, so maybe it was like some continuity things that they can build up for the year practicing together. But I would have definitely stayed in Barcelona. I think that would have been better for him. Right. More pressure, a bigger stage.
But sometimes it seems like, and correct me if I'm mistaken, we don't seem to make the right choices. What do you think that is? Particularly in sports. I mean.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like he's probably just as talented as anybody on the planet. Right. And when you're playing with Messi, you're going to be in his shadow no matter what you do.
Right. Look at what you're saying. Listen to what you're saying. You're going to be in his shadow.
Yeah, you're gonna be in the shadow. So you want your own team, So I don't knock that. But I think he could have gone to a different team. Right.
Now, the big news today. It seems like the next country where the World Cup is going to take place is going to be USA, Canada, and Mexico.
So in 8 years.
In 8 years.
So the next one's going to be.
Why do we have to wait 8 years instead of 4?
So the next one is going to be in Qatar. And then I guess the one after that would be in the U.S. U.S., Mexico, and Canada.
Yeah, in the 3 countries for safety reasons, economical safety, like these 3 countries. Well, Mexico, but that's what they were saying today. That,
it's not the first time a World Cup would be shared throughout multiple countries. So
yeah, and it's more money coming in too.
Yeah, and this is good for Canada. I don't think Canada's ever been in a World Cup. I don't know if they got an automatic bid. I think that is still being worked out, but that's cool.
Now the big news of the day I was listening to is the what do you call it? The trainer, the technical director, I call it, but the director from the Spain team got fired.
Yeah, he took the job. He took the job at Real Madrid. And the Spanish Federation didn't think that was the right time for him to do that, and they fired him.
Because nobody's above the law, and nobody's above any institution.
I mean, I don't know. I think that was a mistake. I don't really understand why they had to fire him. I mean, this is a month tournament. I don't think a team like Real Madrid, I'm not gonna say that they're bigger than the World Cup, but they're
pretty major.
They're big. They're probably like just as big. So like they're not gonna wait a month for you to finish this. I think he could have did it. He could have did the tournament and then focused all of his attention for Madrid. They still would have had a preseason. I don't get why they had to fire him. I don't think that was the best move, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what happens behind closed doors. So
things happen.
Yeah.
Things happen. I was listening. I was checking the news today, and they were saying that Russia, the problem is that the guys, the players, they make so much money. They're not hungry. for the World Cup, I mean, they make so much money, all of them, that they don't train as hard, that they don't care, that if you go to the streets in Moscow and you talk to people in the subways or in the, you know,
for just players in general or the Russian national team?
For the Russian national team. They have no expectations. They feel that, you know, the team is not...
Russia's they're not a soccer powerhouse. You know, like if this was hockey, you know, their mindset would be completely different. Just like, you know, in the U.S., the World Cup's going to come here in, you know, was it 2026? I don't think the U.S. will, you know, I don't know. Hopefully, the U.S. will be a top 10 team at that point. Maybe, you know, it's a possibility, but it's not something that I would like put a bunch of money on. So the expectations that I have during that World Cup is just, you know, hopefully that we would, you know, not embarrass ourselves, have, you know, a good showing. But like, you know, if the Olympics or the FIBA basketball tournament was being held in the U.S., my expectation would be, you know, winning, get a gold, to dominate, you know.
Right.
So I think, you know, just Russia, they just know that they're not a soccer powerhouse, and they're just probably happy to have the World Cup on their
ground.
On their home soil.
Yeah. We see all the people from Peru, from Colombia.
Yeah, it's great. I wish the U.S. qualified, you know. It's something that is kind of, I guess, as a fan, it makes me appreciate the tournament more. It's something qualifying for. It's something I guess I kind of took for granted. Just you know, our division, just how many spots we get. It's something that we should have been able to do, no problem. Now that the tournament is expanding, it's probably something that we will do. And then when you host, you automatically qualify for it. So that's something that we won't have to worry about. But yeah, you know, it was definitely a humbling experience. And you know, being from a country that doesn't really have a great history, you know, I don't know, should I have had like an entitlement, you know, feeling about qualifying for the most important competition in the sport? You know, probably not. So, you know, it's an experience, and hopefully the U.S. program just learns from it, and it becomes something that we look back on, and we said that was like rock bottom, and that it was like a good thing that it happened, and like, you know, we rose from that.
Right. We gotta go to the bottom sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Right? Yeah, sometimes it has to happen.
To see the light.
It happened with USA Basketball when we won the bronze in 2004. I think that, you know, that was the best thing for the program and just basketball in the country, because it made us refocus and it made us realize that we can't just like slap a team together and go out there. So, you know, sometimes it has to happen. Yeah.
What about Mexico? Do you like Mexico's soccer? I mean, are they pretty good? Pretty aggressive?
That's our #1 rival, so I'm not going to say I like them.
Ouch. We can make an exception. We're talking about their ability in the field.
And that's all I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, you know, Mexico as like a country or like Mexican people.
I know.
I love y'all.
I know. I love y'all. We're all Democrats here, right, Malik?
Just not the soccer. But yeah, you know, they'll probably do fine this World Cup. You know, they're not going to win.
But you definitely don't want them to win.
They're not going to win it, but they'll show out.
Yeah.
They'll represent for the
You see what the
conference.
problem is when you hear all the comments, and all the commentators are from Mexico. So Fox in Espanol, they got all these analysts. And they're just hoping for Mexico to win. But I don't think Mexico's going to be.
Nah,
they never do. I
think only 8 teams have won the World Cup. You know, I'd be shocked if a 9th, you know, wins. But I don't think Mexico.
Who do you think is going to be the biggest surprise? That's a good question. You got to give me that, Malik.
I don't know.
I did my homework. Who do you think, and I didn't shut up my cell phone, can you believe that? And I'm getting all these messages.
I'm not sure who I'm going to think is a surprise. I like Nigeria. There's a lot of energy. I feel like there's a lot of good energy coming out of Nigeria. I feel like they're getting a lot of support. I know that's like the hottest jersey, you know, of the World Cup right now. So, you know, I may go for them. Costa Rica. I mean, you know, I'm rooting for them. Definitely rooting for them over Mexico.
That's
and
good to know.
to rep CONCACAF, you know. But yeah, I don't know. Costa Rica, I'm gonna root for them just because they have 2 players from my team, NYCFC. So that would be cool.
That's number 1. Number 2, we love the game. That's the little tiny problem that we have in Costa Rica, that all the attention goes to the soccer players. You know, like, it's the biggest major thing in the country.
Yeah, every country has something. Like,
you know, it's all about soccer. And we appreciate the effort and the talent, but, sometimes we have to divide the attention a little bit to other sports. Like, you guys have a lot of variety of different sports here. Boxing, baseball, right?
Yeah.
Gymnastics, golf. Soccer is not the most...
Yeah, it's getting more popular here,
but it's going to get there.
Especially, like, amongst the young people, soccer is really a really popular sport. I think more young people in this country are watching soccer than watching Major League Baseball. Yeah.
And baseball is not going to die anytime soon. I can
tell
you that.
It's not going to die. And, Major League Baseball is not going to die. But the demographics are definitely going to switch.
So when you go home tonight, I mean, what's the first team, the first game that you're going to watch?
Tomorrow, Portugal, Spain. That'll be.
I like Portugal. I heard that it's beautiful there.
Yeah,
people are so beautiful.
I definitely root for Portugal, especially anytime they go up over Spain.
You're an underdog then.
I root for Portugal just because that's where I started watching the game.
I know.
So yeah, that's my second country. My second country team behind the U.S. is Portugal. I know that their biggest rival is Spain, so especially when they go up against each other, I always root for Portugal.
What happens if Spain walks out?
Spain beat Portugal. I spend a lot of time in Spain. I haven't. Outside of like the airport, I haven't been back to Portugal since I left. I like the country too, but when they go up against each other, I go for Portugal.
It's gonna be blood.
Yeah, that's gonna be the good game. The first game is usually
bad.
Yeah, the first game is usually orchestrated for the home country to win. I was thinking to myself, like, would I watch this game normally? But I would. Like, if I came across Russia playing Saudi Arabia, I would watch.
What about Russia and Saudi Arabia? Any ideas about the score?
It was 5-0, Russia.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, it was a more entertaining game than I thought it would be going in.
It's incredible.
Russia, that was the first time they won in their last 7 games.
Oh my gosh, I guess they can't sleep right now. They're all in the pubs, getting drunk, getting high.
Yeah, it's probably a good night to be in Moscow or.
A good night to be Russian. Yeah. And maybe the president is celebrating.
Probably.
What an interesting man, right, Malik? Interesting man. We got 5 minutes to go? No.
Wow.
I can't believe it. I haven't even covered. So Argentina, you think is going to win or is going to lose? It's going to be first and second. I want predictions. I want bold predictions coming from you because you're the expert.
Oh, man.
I'm the fan, you're the expert.
I don't know.
I'm going to put you on the spot, Malik.
Argentina,
I don't know. Give me the winner. First, second, and third place. In your dreams, in your gut instincts, in your wet dreams. Bring it on. Who's the winner of the World
Who's
Cup?
going to win? Dang.
Damn.
I'm going to go England.
I'm going to
go England.
We were friends. I thought this minute that you and me were close.
I haven't heard, that's a pick, I haven't heard any of the experts pick.
England?
Yeah. So,
are you out of your mind?
So if they pull it out.
But they don't have the best players, though. They really don't.
They have star players. They have top players at every position. They have,
England is your favorite.
That's the team I'm gonna go with.
You hurt my heart.
So if they
stabbed
win,
my heart, Malik.
if they win, I'll be the only person that predicted that.
Okay, it's on the record.
Yeah.
I just want to say it. But we're gonna air this interview. I want to air it for next Friday, or this Friday, next following Friday, because there's a World Cup taking place, and I figure I want to talk about soccer, and you know what, Malik is my boy, so why not? So England first. Who's in the second place?
I don't have how the groups break down, but I'm gonna just go. Teams, the 3 teams I think have a chance to win. I'm gonna go England, France, in Belgium.
So, Belgium is quite a team. They're absolutely amazing. They can be a winner.
Yeah.
They can be a winner. We got 3 minutes to go. Number one, Malik, on the record, you laid me down. I thought that you and me were close friends. When you said England, I love England. I love British actors. They're the best actors on this earth. But in terms of soccer, baby,
I think they're gonna shock the
they're
world.
not consistent enough. That's the problem that I have with England. They're not consistent enough.
But you know, I feel like this is the least amount of pressure their country has put them in since I've been watching. You know, the first World Cup game I watched was USA England, and the U.S. tied. It ended in a draw, and I remember the whole country was just so mad, and like that's really helped me become a fan because it was just like I wasn't used to that. Like usually when the U.S. plays and we, you know, it's not like an embarrassment to lose or draw to the U.S. So when that happened, you know, and the whole country was mad, you know, it kind of made me proud. And
Malik,
you know,
what about Argentina?
I'll root for them this time.
What about my boy Messi?
Messi, you know, I wouldn't be mad if he did win it, but you know, I'd be happy if he won it. I'd be happy for him because, you know, I hate when people nitpick at greatness.
I know, I hate that too.
Yeah.
But whatever goes up comes down too, Malik.
That's true.
Now, if you have one piece of advice to Messi, what would be your advice to Messi? If he comes to you for any crazy reason, or you go to him, you meet him in the streets, I don't know, in a dream. If you have the opportunity to say, listen, boy, what would be your advice?
I would just say that your legacy is, you know what I mean, it's already cemented. There's really not anything anybody can say to you, so you should just be able to play free and
be happy.
Yeah, no pressure. And
enjoy the game.
Yeah, just enjoy it.
And pressure is off.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, you're already a legend. A World Cup is only going to add to that, but...
What about Pelé? What about Maradona?
They have it, you know, but
Maradona doesn't have... He opened his mouth about political matters.
You shouldn't listen to him. He's not a good person.
You shouldn't listen to him.
Maradona is definitely... I think Messi is a better person than Maradona. Maradona has like domestic violence and like those type of problems.
But we're not supposed to make judgments, but that's what we hear in the news, right?
Yeah, that's what we hear in the news.
That's what we hear. We just want to make sure that
is not as bad as domestic violence.
But everybody should be aware that the world has changed and we're only one click away. So you got to be careful what you say. You got to be careful what you do. Pretty much you got to be careful even when you go to the toilet.
Yep.
This is the reality we live in, guys. Everything is on the record. Am I right, Malik?
That's true.
So anyway, we finished. Thank you for watching. The World Cup is taking place. Malik Parker is a genius. We love the game. Thank you for your time. You rock. And you broke my heart, but that's besides the point. Guys, see you next week.